Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, three-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils, and you're listening to the Uncle Puckers New Jersey Devils podcast with Chris, Dan, Bobby, and Tony, the Uncle Puckers. Let's go, Devils!
It's very low.
Yo! Hello, Pucker Army. This is your customer support guide, Joey the Hammer Edicini. Thank you for calling the Uncle Pucker Show After Hours Hotline. We appreciate you listening and taking time out of your busy day to reach out to the Puckers. Please listen to the following options. If you're calling for Chris, press 1. For Dan, press 2. For Bobby, press 3. And for Tony, just press fucking 4. For anything else Pucker related, please hit 5. If you're calling about allergic reactions from the Uncle Pucker Fan Club Suntan Lotion giveaway last month out at Seaside, please send all concerns to Go Puck Yourself, you asshat motherfucker, at gmail.com. Remember, drink beer and worship hockey. Have an amazing pucking day.
Please leave a message after the...
All right, you sorry bunch of clowns. You know who this is. This is Joe Fano. And finally, I get you sons of bitches on the phone, okay? Because I hear these things and people talking, they say, oh, these guys, they do this stupid hockey podcast and they're talking shit about you. So I go back, I listen, oh yeah, you guys are funny, man, right? You guys got jokes, you got a lot to say. I'll tell you something. When you're fucking with the Fanos, you're fucking with the wrong people, all right? So I gave a listen. You guys think you're funny, you think you got these hot takes on the devil, to the Devils. I tell you, there's only one hockey team that matters, and that's the motherfucking Islanders. End of story. I listen to you clowns. You get this guy on there. His name's Tony. He's got this long hair. He lives out in Eastern Europe. I tell you what, buddy. Stay there. Stay there. Nobody wants you coming back here. Nobody wants you in this country. You ain't nothing but a piece of garbage. Straight up. End of story. And this jooch that you have from Pennsylvania on this show. I mean, seriously, boys. What the fuck? This is a devil podcast. This guy lives out in Pennsylvania. You do this stupid game, right? The devil you know. Oh, how about the devil this guy doesn't know? Because he don't know any of them. What a jabroni. I listen to this. He's like, oh, I can't get into too much. I can't press the button fast enough. Everybody's going to shut up. Shut up, you ass clown. And then this guy, Dan, let me tell you, very smart guy, very smart. Shut the fuck up once in a while. Oh, my God, he just rambles and rambles. It gets to a point, I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm saying, what the fuck is this guy even talking about? Next thing you know, I'm listening to hockey, and then he's talking about this fucking history of the English language. You know what the history of the English language is? One of the first two best words ever? Fuck you. And that's right, Dan. That's right. And the other guy, Chris, I like that dude. He's all right. But I'll tell you, you open your mouth again. One more time, and you're going to be seeing some friends of mine. They're going to be coming down there. You fuck with the Fano family. You fuck with everybody. Don't mess around, boys, because I'm telling you, I can make your life miserable. That's all I'm saying. Gotta go.
Whoa, Jafano.
I thought he was such a nice guy.
Joe Fano was very upset. But
And Joey the Hammer working that day.
this is actually a morning show, not a celebratory show. I don't know why Joe had to fucking ruin it early on in the show.
It's a podcast. They don't have to play it in the morning.
It's true, but the Devils are dead.
That's true.
It's all over now, baby blue.
It's a great season now. Good move.
Poor one
Like
for the
the whole
Devils.
Star Wars franchise. It started off great and had a terrible ending. I really don't mean that. I love Rise of Skywalker. I actually just watched it the other day. I don't know why everybody shits on that movie. I really like it.
It was
Wasn't
just
that
an
bad.
easy way out. They just kind of pulled everything back together for an easy way out, but it wasn't terrible.
Well, because The Last Jedi fucked it all up.
It took a crazy left turn, and how do you get back on track? It was tough, but
The Last
kind of like our
Jedi-
season, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. But The Last Jedi was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
I mean, that plot made no sense. The
was all
fucking
over
guy,
the place.
Poe, got nearly the entire rebellion killed because
Yes, they're
he's
all
an
gone.
idiot. They're all dead because of him. Actions he directly took, I tell you.
I haven't seen any of those movies since Jar Jar Binks. That was the last one I ever saw of any of those.
You gotta get the taste out of your mouth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't end it with Jar Jar. It's like I don't know, getting knocked out of the playoffs on an overtime goal and a bullshit fucking penalty call. It's kind of like that, Tone. So you should watch the other Star Wars movies.
They killed Han Solo, I heard. I didn't.
How long ago? Yeah, they did.
Tony, were you on the podcast when we were talking about the worst penalties in hockey?
Yeah, he was here.
Were you here for that already?
I don't think so. I'm sure Bernier was mentioned, but
I do recall my
No. We were talking about not penalties taken by a devil. We were talking about like rules that
Worst
we
calls.
wish
Oh,
we could.
okay,
No,
no,
we were talking about rules that we would change, or rules that you just you can't stand. And Dan had mentioned the being able to challenge offsides, and you had mentioned. Go ahead.
I had mentioned the stupid to live game penalty and how it's 90% of the time it's just completely accidental, just fighting for a puck in the corner, and I think it's going to cost somebody a big game someday. And wow, really sucks to go out that way. I mean, you could say all the crap. Oh well, you deal with it, you kill it, and you move on. But in a game like that, to have this game decided by that type of penalty, when they let a lot of shit go, as they should.
Yeah, the refs put the whistles away, right?
Fine with it.
But this is non-negotiable.
That's
Yeah, this is non-negotiable.
And that's the one that gets you. That's just heartbreaking. And I just don't like that rule. I think they need to try to find a way to, I don't know, decipher the difference between somebody who's pushing out and clearing it over and somebody who's just making a hockey play.
Well, they let the refs call if it's an intentional offsides or not. That's up to the refs'
That's a discretion call. You're right.
And if they're going to do that, we'd like to see some good discretion there. You could see how that would be abused. They call it against one team and not the other, but I think it's probably worse. I got to agree with Bob that, oh, no, sorry, got to do it. It's an overtime playoff game. Got to make that call. But let's face it. I mean, was that really what was sealed the deal? I mean, in the end,
the game, not the series.
Yeah, definitely not the series, but even the game. I mean, how many chances did the Devils have to win this game? They were definitely the better team on the ice. They made the better chances happen, but yet they could not finish when they needed to finish. And they were so close. This is a game you go, oh, great effort, boys. We move on. If you didn't already throw away 3 games that were just complete, disasters.
Yeah.
So
you kind of, this is how you expected this series to be every single game, and it wasn't.
Yes.
We said, holy shit, I can't believe it took this team 2 full games to figure out the New York Rangers. It took 4 or 5 rather to figure out Carolina. We finally, we finally figured them out, and it's, we can't use our speed through the neutral zone. We have to dump and chase. They did that tonight, and they had success. They got themselves some scoring chances. The games that they got blown out, it was no adjustments. It was, well, how come this isn't working? Let's keep doing it. How come it isn't working? Let's keep doing it. And it was just, it turned, when things went bad, they went real bad. They finally figured it out. Way too fucking late and way too little. Tons of missed opportunities today. I mean, who wants to score the fucking goal passing play that they did? Come on. Hughes has to put that on net. I get what he was trying to do, but Meyer at the same time, dude, it doesn't get much more wide open. I probably could have made that, scored that goal. Tatar, the one thing Bratt did do today from his ass was make that nice pass into the center ice into Palat wide open. He was in a little tight, didn't have time to make a move, and Palat for some reason isn't Palat on the Devils. He left that in Florida. Maybe next year he'll bring it.
Maybe he's getting he's worn out. I don't know. It's
kind of getting to that point,
Because I saw some hard effort for him, but you're right, he did not have the finish, and I just I don't know. I wonder how much he's got left in the tank.
It didn't look like much.
Tonight,
4 years and $6 million.
Yeah, and eventually that's definitely gonna get, as the years go on, that's gonna be a more bitter thing with fans. This game, I thought the first 10 minutes we kind of looked like we were off our game completely, and I don't know who it was, we texted back and forth saying, the Devils definitely don't look like they're in this yet. Mercer's goal kind of changed things,
Beautiful goal. Game. My goodness, what a beautiful goal. Whole sequence, entire play was gorgeous.
So you need to chip in somebody like him?
Schmid played great tonight.
Yes, he did.
I mean, there was a lot of guys. I mean, it was hard. I think we all kind of agree when we were signing on tonight. It's like, man, it's hard to do a show tonight because we're all kind of, we all pissed off die with the team. But I will say this. It was a great year, man. We got ourselves in trouble getting so down in that series so fast. And we have no one to blame but ourselves in that aspect. There's some certain things that I think we all see that can be improved on this team next year. Especially, you definitely need a little more toughness. We see that. I even saw that again tonight a little bit. Our guys getting knocked around when he came. Stefan Noason, I mean, he was impressive to me for Carolina this year.
I don't know if I agree with you on that. We need toughness. I agree that we need size. We need dudes that can get in front of the fucking net.
I'm not talking about fighters, though. I'm talking about toughness.
Well, I mean, I think that we can play a pretty tough game. I think we did tonight. When we were hitting, the guys were in it. I mean, I think
much better physicality than last game, for sure.
Yeah, and I totally get what you're saying. They're very small to even look small out there. There are a few dudes that do give us that kind of muscle, that beef, guys that can get in front of the net and do the dirty work. But we definitely don't have enough of them, and maybe we just don't have the guys that are willing to do it.
Well, what bothers me is if someone gets hurt, like not even hurt, but we see some of our other guys get nailed, right? And I just feel like, and like we were saying, you don't want anybody to hurt anybody, but there has to be I just feel like the other teams don't think to themselves, well, we don't have to worry about this team making us pay for this,
Right. You're right. There is no that part of this team doesn't exist. That sticking up for each other out there. I don't know. Maybe it's because. He sure is a European, and European hockey's not big on that kind of shit. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem like that. The team doesn't have... A lot of times they lack heart, it feels like. That they just rely on, their speed and skating pretty and making pretty plays than, grinding. And you have to fucking grind. They don't have enough of them.
There are some positives, though. Schmid, you go into the offseason now and you think to yourself, okay, we have a good goalie here that we could work with. I mean, better than seeing him get blown out 6-1 in the final game in the playoffs. He had a strong game. He made some saves. So, I mean, that was a good thing to see. Just a lot of questions.
Vanacek's stock has really fallen, I think, in the eyes of this team.
Sure.
Over this, I think Bratt's stock has fallen big time in the eyes of this team.
Huge. I can't believe it. I could not believe this playoff performance by Jesper Bratt.
So, I mean, there are going to be, spots to be filled and guys that aren't coming back, I mean, Hala, we don't know what's going on with him.
How about Tatar?
Do we have Tatar locked up?
No, I think he's not locked up either.
And do you want him back?
I know I have them all written down.
No, Hall is another. I mean, I really liked Hall this playoffs, but this Carolina series, he kind of went into the. You didn't hear much of him. Dougie Hamilton, the same thing. I thought Dougie had a rough game tonight, kind of too.
I think you guys earlier in the year that Lazar to me is probably taking Hall's spot just based on the contract. He's got the extra year. I don't know if you need both of them, but who knows? I'd like to have him back after what he showed me the second half.
I like Lazar too.
Let's play a game. Okay, we're going to play sign or resign. Devils season now is officially over, so that means the off season has officially begun. So this is off season chat.
These are super.
I'm going to give you guys all of our unrestricted and restricted free agents this year. And now you've seen what this team is. You've seen what this team can do in the playoffs. You know what has to be done to fix the problems this team has. Do these people help or hinder that process? You are now general manager of the New Jersey Devils. We're going to start with Timo Meier, unrestricted free agent. Not going to get into the money situation. We're not going to deal with that right now. Talking about just the player. Timo Meier, unrestricted free agent, sign or resign. Tony, Bobby, Dan, go.
Sign.
Just to, before I answer, I agree with you. We can't go over all the money, but boy, that's huge important, right? And also, what else is out there to replace them? You know what I mean? Because that makes a big difference whether you just do it. But just on a quick hot take on the player to state that that's what we're doing, I got to sign Timo Meier. We have to give him a shot with a healthier playoff run, and he showed a lot tonight too.
Okay. Jesper Bratt, he's a restricted free agent. Right now, he's making, I know we're not going to talk money, but this is just, he's making almost $5.5 million. That Jesper Bratt is making a year right now. Is Jesper Bratt fucking even worth that right now? I mean, I know we're just...
Good.
What?
I would like to see him come back, but not for superstar money. I think he,
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
But I'm just saying, I think he's but I think it does come into the factor that he's He's a good player in the regular season. It's just the postseason. Obviously, he didn't show up. So I think if we can get him back at a decent price, I mean, he's definitely got skill. He didn't just forget all his skill. He just picked a bad time not to play well.
Bob?
Not easy to replace 30 goals from anybody, but I think we can get contributions from maybe a couple people to fill it. Don't sign him.
Dan?
No, I get his regular season play is important to the team, but I want to build a playoff team. And I don't like what I saw in the playoffs. Maybe someday he has a great playoff for somebody, but boy, I say no. I don't sign him, especially considering there's no way he's going to want to sign for what he signed. He could have locked that up, and I wouldn't give him $1 more, even consider that. So,
no. He won't be back. I don't think he'll be.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get him at a considerable discount of the $5.5 million, I would say sign. But no, like you said, we're trying to build a playoff team. We want to win a Stanley Cup. Jesper Bratt just doesn't seem, not on this team at least, doesn't seem like the guy. So if he and also he's been a real dick apparently about the money. So what's he looking for? Good luck going to get it.
Hey,
this guy might.
Did you see? I almost made that great pass.
Yeah, well, he didn't make the great pass, but he almost, he did it on his ass. So let's start there. Well, he wasn't really upright. Tatar, unrestricted. He can walk if he wants to.
I wouldn't mind seeing him come back, but again, I don't know if he will be back. And I would like to see him play if you can get him at a good deal.
Bob,
I think Tatar's more of a leader on that team, and especially in the dressing room and even on the ice than we probably know. I'd say sign him.
Dan?
Oh man, I hate to just clean house, and I do like a lot from Tatar, but these playoffs were brutal. And we could have used more contribution from him big time. A lot of what I'm saying, I have to also say that it's a chemistry thing, including the coaching staff. So maybe more can be got out of him. You really would have to factor all those changes into before you answer honestly. But again, hot takes, I'm going to let him go. I honestly feel like this is a guy who should have done more. And I don't know who I'm replacing all these guys with. So far, I'm letting everybody go.
No, you're keeping Timo Meyer. We're just letting Jesper Bratt and Thomas Tatar go right now. So that's not bad. Right. And I agree. I don't think we re-signed Thomas Tatar. I expected so much more from him in these playoffs. Is number one. Number two, we kind of have guys now that deserve an opportunity to come up onto this team and be a part of what they're building. I mean, and I think that, I don't think you're going to get too much more out of Thomas Tatar. I think you can make up the production on the ice. With a guy that we have, down there, somebody makes his team, Holtz, Clark, whoever comes up. I think you can get the same deal. Foot, those guys, I think can give you what Tatar gives you. So I say let him go. Damon Severson.
He'll be gone. Let him go. And I'm not even a Severson hater. I just don't think we're not gonna want to give him what he wants.
This is
Bob?
a numbers game for him. Way too much talent on the back end coming up. It's just his time to go.
Dan?
I would have said it so fast before the playoffs. Before
you would have had his duffel
bag
bag packed as he's getting off the ice and just been like, but your car is waiting.
To be fair, I was very impressed with his playoffs. He did make a couple errors towards the end, but let's face it, who didn't on that team? No. Yeah, you're right. And it was, costly at times, which is I've already worried about. But he did a lot better in the playoffs. Still, I haven't changed my mind. I think where he's at, and Bobby mentioned it too, defense is going to be, a pretty tight fit for this team now and in the immediate future. So I don't see him on this team.
Yeah, same reasons. Like the guys are coming up. It's their spot now. It's their time. Severson's done, and let him go. Hopefully, he has a good career somewhere. And he really fucking turned my opinion around these playoffs. He really did. He played fantastic every game. So this next guy we know is going to be gone. So there's no reason even to really bring him up. Jonathan Bernier. He's now officially off the team. Thank you for your service, Jonathan. Miles Wood. Now it gets a little tricky.
I like Miles, but I don't think he's gonna be back because I think he's gonna want more than.
Now we're getting into cleaning house territory. Now we're like fuck.
And I do
going on
like
5 in a
Miles Wood.
row.
And I thought Miles had a really good game tonight. There was a couple plays he really was, got in there, and I thought he was actually going to score twice in front of that net. And I know I've always liked Miles. He obviously this year has been hot cold, but I just don't think he's going to be back now.
Bobby.
I also have always liked Miles Wood, but I think the experiment is over. We're not sure exactly which type of player he needs to be, which way to pull him in. I just think this is where you can move him on and get some of the younger guys coming up.
Dan.
I keep Miles Wood. I honestly saw him grow throughout the playoffs, where a lot of guys never came awake. He did. He started off brutal. He was making all kinds of mistakes, then tried to overcompensate in Game 2 versus the Rangers. Got a benching and came back strong. Didn't see him make too many mistakes after that, and he was a spark plug in multiple games. Tonight, he was one of the only guys with the right idea, go to the net. I would have liked to see more of that. I would like to get even more out of him, but I was impressed in the direction that he was going was the right direction. Also, the fourth line was the most consistently good line in this series.
Great.
So I'm going to keep Miles Wood, and unless we're talking crazy money and all these things we're not talking about right now, I think we kind of don't have another guy with speed and that kind of size. Who is it? I don't know. So, there's other guys out there we could replace him with in the NHL, but we're not talking about that right now, so I keep Wood.
I would keep Miles Wood. I know I shit on him a lot, but I do like his game when he's on, and I thought towards the end of the playoffs he was very good. I also think that there's nobody on this list that would benefit more from being on another team than Miles Wood. Like, I kind of feel like something with the Devils and Miles Wood doesn't fit. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Experiment I'm talking about.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I feel like if he did walk next year, like Miles Wood can be a 40-goal scorer and somebody that just kills it for a team in the playoffs, which is going to be tough to see. But he does have that potential. I just don't know why it can't work here. But I think he'll be gone. But if you can figure it out with him and he's willing to sign, a 2-year deal or something, I would definitely consider it.
Wood's an interesting guy, isn't he? Because remember when he first came to the Devils, into the league, he was pretty much our tough guy for that season.
Yeah,
he was pretty much our dude who always threw down. Stopped scrapping so much, and definitely picked up his offensive game. And the following season, you could definitely see that happen with him.
Sure.
And
I think too, for what we're doing now, we're just we're throwing this in without the money considerations. I think we're going to have a good show in the summer where we can analyze a little more with all those.
Yeah, we'll break it all down. But right now we're just, and also you got to keep in mind, some of these guys are a lot of these guys are unrestricted. Like, they just might not want to be back. So you don't know how these guys are feeling. And this guy here, I would like to sign, but I don't know if we're going to be able to make it work. Ryan Graves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here.
What do you think, Tone? I
like Ryan Graves. I'd like to see him back, but I don't know if we're going to be able to when it comes down to when we get to that point of the finances eventually. But I'd like to see him back. I think he had some strong games. He's still young, and he can score some goals sometimes. I do like Ryan Graves.
Bob?
Been singing his praise all year, and I know what the chart shows.
You do love yourself some Ryan Graves.
I do. I know what the chart shows for who's coming up. I think that I saw a play today that I feel like I see from him almost every other game, and it's so subtle. That little tiny tip in the front that made that shot go wide when Carolina could have tied it up early. That was Graves. That was his stick. He does that more than he gets credit for, and he's a big body that can score. I'm all in with Graves. I want to sign him, even if that means trading somebody else out to make it work.
Because you love the tip of his stick.
Mm-hmm.
Just the tip.
How about the shaft? You like that too?
Never got there.
I think he likes the whole stick. He
loves the gravy.
You never got past the tip?
No, I guess not.
Dan, Ryan Graves, and his
I don't know if anyone is as hot on Graves as Bobby, but I with him there. Graves he fills a good role in this team. He's
and
very
Graves
steady.
has some effeminate features, so maybe it's an attraction thing.
It's pretty interesting when you rank our defensemen too. Like, not in looks, if that's where you thought I was going. I think he's super important, but it's amazing because we got some really good defensemen, especially with a lot of potential. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but Graves, we keep him if at all possible. We keep him.
Well, Dan, you said I think the last time we were doing this, like Ryan Graves is at that point in his career where he feels like he should probably get that one big contract, right? A long-term deal, something where, he's been moved around and so he's proven himself. He wants a 5-6 year deal somewhere and, kind of hunker down, and he deserves it. But, the Devils can't do that. So
I know. I wonder if they can, because, even if they do that, they're doing it for their fourth defenseman. I mean,
right.
Seriously, when you start ranking him, it's like, wait, you want to give him, top defenseman money? Are you able to do that? I don't know. Since we're tossing everybody else on the team, I guess we got plenty of money for Graves. I don't know. But, again,
the team is now Jack and Luke Hughes. That's it.
Yeah, but it is amazing because as much as I like Graves, I think he's steady, and I think you could build a team around him. I'm not even kidding. I think him and another defenseman pairing could be your top pairing on a lot of NHL teams, especially going forward.
Do you wish you were his pairing, Bobby?
Is this our last show or what? What are we doing here?
Come on.
We'll be back in 2-2.
It's all great. No, yeah, let's keep Graves if we can. If
I
we
agree.
can. The question is, do I want him on this team? Yes, I do.
Yeah, I agree.
But what about when we get Nemec next year too and all
right.
that? I don't know.
Yeah, there's going to be. I mean, you might be having Ryan Graves as your healthy scratch some nights if you are running all these defensemen out.
I want to get Ball in there. I wonder if we could use him tonight.
Forgot about him.
Yeah, that defense core we got
cost us the playoffs, man. Get rid of him.
But
I will come to him.
Seagathor did cost us the plays, but it's a shame because he made some. There was a play he made tonight. He stopped that breakout. He had some nice plays tonight before that.
That overtime, and he had that nice look on that shot, and he just Aho got a stick on it.
Yeah,
Mackenzie Blackwood.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Done.
You're done. Eric Holla.
Keep him. I like Holla. I think if he could play like he did the second half of the season, I like him. I actually, you know what? This series was not the best for him, but the Rangers series he was strong in. I like the way he plays, and I think a team like the Devils can always use Eric Holla.
Robert?
This one I have a hard time answering because it's part of the domino effect. Like, we can't keep Lazar and Tatar and him, so depending on where other things fell, I don't really know. I mean, on the surface, I want to keep him, but I also said, to keep Tatar, and maybe you don't keep both. So, I mean, I'll say keep him, but I look forward to doing this again this summer when we've got more of an analyst going on here because I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're skipping over a lot of variables. As we said, money and this and that. And also, who else is available, right? In the league to get.
And we're going to get really into that. But, with what you saw in this playoff.
Absolutely.
Guys, would you like to replace these people?
No, I understand. And what I'm saying is, unless we can get somebody with that kind of experience to be a veteran who actually produced in the playoffs, I want to keep him. You know what I mean? And I like what he did. Particularly, in a few of those games, and I think he was engaged in a leader in a way some of the other guys weren't. At least that you could see on the ice. I think, Bobby, you were talking about Tatar. We don't know what he did in the locker room. That's true, but I didn't see him talking up on the ice the way Eric Holla did. Eric Holla looked like he was a leader on the ice. Maybe that's the nature of just the way his style of play and this and that. So I would definitely want to keep him.
I think Eric Holla wants to be on this team next year. You kind of get that sense, right? I'd like to lock up Holla, but I kind of agree with what Bobby said as far as management goes. Maybe Lazar is that replacement. I don't know, but I would like to keep him.
You have to take Holla over. I would think you have to take Holla over Lazar. I'm not saying Lazar is not.
I agree, but you have Lazar signed. You don't have Holla signed, so
let's
that's
not forget.
just.
I mean, Holla really was not even on this team the first half of the year. Those weak little shots, he really turned it on, which is great. But which Holla are you going to get for an entire year?
But I felt the first half of the season, I didn't think it was so much of. I know there were some weak shots sometimes, but I felt like he was just bad luck. I remember so many posts, so many.
Yeah, it's always bad luck when you're hitting the goalie in the crest.
But then when he got it going, he started rolling. I mean, I really felt like he.
To me, playoffs are more important. The playoff performance to me is more important than those other 82 games. So
that's why you're right. But without those games, you don't get to the playoffs. or some of
Right.
those. And you're right,
Right.
though, too, Dan. I agree with you also. It is important to
Well,
play, definitely.
we're since we've been on this a bit, there's 5 names left. We're gonna just go real quick,
Speed round.
stay or go, or keep or dump, whatever you guys want to say. Because I think these are kind of so Eric Holla. We're gonna kind of just put a question mark around because I think we'd all like to keep him, but we'll see what happens. So we got Igor Sharangovich. Tone,
No.
go,
Dump.
dump.
Yeah, I get rid of him.
Okay, he's gone. Michael McLeod.
Keep.
Keep
How
and
do
give
you
him a
know?
bigger role.
Yeah, McLeod's here to stay. I mean, he's one of the players I think they build this next 10 years around. Definitely.
You have to sign him. Jesper Boquist.
I think you could lose. I could picture Jesper Boquist going somewhere else, so. Gone.
I think I said halfway through the year before he kind of turned it around that he was one of those replaceable players. I'll stick with that and say he can go if he has to.
Almost don't care which way it goes because it totally depends on so many other factors. I'm not like, oh my God, we can't have a team without Boquist. That's for sure. But he did mostly his job as far as when it was asked. But that's a big maybe for me. I don't really care. I don't even have a strong opinion one way or the other. Sorry.
I kind of agree.
I abstained from that vote.
I mean, I guess let him go then. Last guy, Kevin Ball. I think we all want him signed, right?
Keep him.
Yeah,
keep
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he really did have a great playoff, and our defense and as far as how deep they are, even in this playoff run, kind of sucked because I would have liked to have seen him in there tonight. But you get into that, somebody has to sit out, and who are you going to sit? So I would have liked to seen him. But how about we play a game?
Maybe we could play a game. Let me see here.
We can attempt to play a game.
I mean, we got to find out where that thing is before we play the game.
You can't find. Let's talk about.
I got it. I just gotta. Well, did you want to play a game?
I do want to play a game.
Shall we play a game?
Yes, please.
Buckle up, boys and girls. It is time for the Devil You Know on the Uncle Pucker New Jersey Devil Podcast.
Greatest thing
All
in
right.
podcast.
What'd you say?
It's the greatest thing in podcast history.
I agree. This is the Devil You Know, where we test our devil knowledge. So tonight, Tony is going to give us clues of a former devil that once played for this team. Myself, Bobby, and Dan get to shout out answers. We get 3 correct answers before we are eliminated. We can ask Tony any question we want, and he can or cannot answer them. It's up to him. So far, we've had John Van Beesbrook, Sean Burke, Jim McKenzie, Miles Wood, Sergey Breland, Sean Chambers, Brian Ralston, Randy Belichick, and Slava Fetisov. And Tony has won 3, 4 times.
Wow.
I have won 3 times, and Dan
Nice.
has won once.
Once?
Twice.
Twice.
Twice. You won the first one. And Bobby is yet to win the Devil You Know.
And Joe Fano really pointed that out, too. I thought that was really that
Fano's an
motherfucker.
asshole.
He was kind of rough on
Right
this.
now.
He's a
Why I was
fucking
picking
dick.
fights.
No, he's
I
a
created
fucking
him.
He's a fucking dick.
I brought him into this fucking world.
I created you, you fuck.
You're my creation, you ass.
And it's
Stat
Fan O.
Now, he's an Islanders
Joe,
fan, but is
fan.
He's an Islander Fan O.
I thought he was from Staten Island.
Yeah, maybe he just likes the
Close
Islanders. Maybe he's
That's
just
Staten
stupid, Dan.
Yes, well,
Maybe he's just
maybe.
stupid.
maybe he is.
So, Tone, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
Okay. So, this devil was born on November 2nd, 1973 in Calgary.
Ooh, a Scorpio.
Abilene. Tommy Abilene.
No.
God damn it, Dan.
73. That's not even close. That's a bad guess. Sorry.
What, do you get? What is it? You get like 3?
Yeah, he's younger than us.
Yeah, I got a strike. I got a strike.
Strike 1. Okay. He played from 1993 to 2009. Okay, he played with the Regina Pats before he was drafted.
It's pronounced Regina, and I'm not even kidding.
Regina
I'm
Pats.
not even kidding. It's Regina.
You pat the vagina.
Like vagina.
That's right. We're the Regina Patters. Aren't we all?
We all were.
We were waiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. 93 to what? 93 to what?
93 to 2009.
2009, yeah.
2009. And that's his whole career, or is that with the Devils?
His whole career.
And can I ask
Yeah.
how many teams did he play for?
He played for 5 teams.
Okay. Go ahead, you can give your next clue.
Okay. He played for the Devils, Toronto, Edmonton, Philly, and Ottawa.
That was the next clue. Ooh. You have a guess there from Bobby. Did you hear that?
What is it?
Go ahead.
Krzysztof
Oliwa.
Oliwa.
No.
From Poland, not from Regina.
Not Regina.
I mean, we're all from
Point
Regina.
miss. I'm just stressing you. I got 2 more. I got to win one.
I forgot about Oliwa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Ottawa.
He was Polish, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Polish Hammer. The Polish
Yeah,
Hammer. He debuted with the Devils in 93-94. He spent the
He
majority
did
of the
what
season.
with them?
His debut was in 93-94 with the Devils.
We almost got to say they butted.
You caught that right then?
He spent 70. Shut the fuck up. He spent.
Hang on. You got to go back to the last clue
No.
because you can't read your own writing.
His first time with the
Isolate.
Devils, his first season with the Devils was the 93-94 season.
Okay.
He's-
93.
Okay. He spent the majority of the season in Albany, but missed it because he missed the majority of the NHL season with an injury, a knee injury. He did play one playoff game that year in 93-94.
Just one. Okay. Not a regular on the 93-94 team.
I have a guess.
Go ahead.
What were the teams he played for?
New Jersey, Toronto, Edmonton, Philly, and Ottawa.
No, never
He
mind.
began his career with New Jersey.
Yeah.
Then went on.
Okay.
You got a guess?
I don't have a guess. He didn't play for a couple of those.
Did you
teams
tell
that
us
I was
how many
thinking.
years he played for the Devils?
No, he played for the Devils. I believe it was 3 years.
Oh wow. So he's on the Cup.
So he was with the
team.
Cup
I believe
team,
that.
right?
Though. I don't have exact. I don't see how many years he exactly played, but he's played with them for a few years. He also, here's something else that he
may or may not have been a
95
hockey
and
player.
96. He became a
What
regular
was-
Devil in 95-96.
Became a regular Devil in 95-96.
Okay, so you're not saying he saw playoff time in
He
the
saw
Cup,
one playoff game in the
I mean-
93-94 season.
but how about the 95 season?
95 season, no.
Oh,
what?
he was not playing. He was not a regular on the Cup
No,
winning
I'm
team.
sorry. He did play one playoff game in the 95 season.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
One game.
Fuck.
You
Guy plays
fucking-
this one game.
You gotta fucking get clues together. You don't even get clues.
got
You
a
told me today.
shitload of clues.
Told me today you
You
did your
got answers.
homework.
Because
You told me
Now
you
you're-
did your homework.
You're talking
How
about
long
your
did he play
Regina.
for the Devils? I don't know. A couple of years. I don't know.
Drafted 18th overall in 92. Why don't you guys get some fucking knowledge?
Go ahead.
You got that? Drafted 18th overall in 92 by the Devils.
Nobody knows the draft like you. I don't know when these people
Wait,
are
no.
drafted.
I don't just know the draft. It was 93 through 97 with the Devils, actually. So
Okay, thank you.
there you go with that. Was the captain of the River Rats in 95 when they won the Calder Cup.
Did you give this player's position yet?
His
No, they
offensive.
didn't. I have
Okay.
a guess. I think
ahead.
I'm wrong. Is it Colin White? Ooh, we got a buzzer.
You got a button?
That's awesome.
That's very good.
Makes me want to guess more people. All right, go ahead.
Okay. He's a
Colin White
he
never
was the
played for
captain
all
of
those
the River-
fucking
he was
teams.
the captain of the
What
River
the
Rats,
fuck
but he
was wrong
also
with me?
what happened?
No, I just realized that a stupid fucking guess I gave.
Yeah, but at least
Was
you
the
know, you
captain
get
of the
Canadian.
Oilers and the Flyers
What? He
What?
was the captain of the Oilers?
and the Flyers at one time. Yes, he led
Jesus.
Edmonton to the Cup in 2006 versus Carolina.
Wait. 2006. We should be getting this.
We should definitely be getting this. And the captain of
And
the
he's
Flyers.
not playing anymore.
No,
How the fuck
Hell
are
of a
we not
career,
getting this?
93,
All right, go ahead. I feel really
Okay.
fucking stupid.
No. We're running out of clues here. Are we on his blood type next? I don't know.
I would like to know if he had a single-digit or double-digit jersey.
Okay, he played 1,008 games. He had 41 goals and 128 assists.
In his career.
1,099 penalty minutes in his career, yeah. Retired in 2009 and became an assistant coach for Ottawa.
Gosh.
Holy shit, dude.
We should be getting this.
I know this name. I can't.
I have no idea.
Fano would disagree, Bobby.
I have no idea. Tony, you got any other clues for us?
How about his jersey number with the Devils? Was it a double-digit or a single-digit?
I think that you guys are not going to get this one. It's Jason Smith.
Wait, hold on a second.
Dude, what?
What?
You
You
can't
guys
do that.
You just ruined the game.
Do that.
How many
This
points?
is-
How can you do that?
Okay, I gave his draft year. I gave how many points he had. I gave where he played. He was
He
a-
does not get this
two
point.
teams.
I had clues down here. What'd you have? 5 clues, Tony? What the hell?
Tony,
Shitload of clues. But how much?
you are
just 'cause
the
you
worst
just
fucking clue
over.
giver ever.
Oh my
You
God.
seriously are the
I
worst.
never got that.
Look at
We
look at
had
the
8
handwriting.
strikes between us. We could have at least just rattled off names. 8 names. At
Yeah,
least.
oh,
You
that's
don't
right. We
blurt it
definitely- we
out,
had
Tony. You
streaks
let
left.
us
I
guess.
thought it was over. I don't know. I mean, you know. it's-
What, with your fucking 4 clues?
Well, you want me
Telling
to
us
show-
when he
Here,
was
let me-
born, when
let
he
me show you a
debuted,
picture of him.
when he
Here,
fucking. This
Here,
is
let me pull up a fucking picture. You tell me who this is.
holy
What the
shit.
fuck?
You have
What do you
one
want?
job
What
to
kind
do.
of-
You can't even do it. I can't
Let's
believe
call him
this.
up and get his voice on the phone. We can all guess who he is. I don't know what else clues to give. I gave his draft year. I gave all the teams
Ask
he
you
played
for more
with.
clues. We
the
couldn't
teams he was in
review the
Stanley
clues.
Cup with.
We had a lot of guesses left. We might have got to them.
We
I
had
don't
questions to ask. You
think we
could
would've
have
ever
fucking
got it?
answered.
Well, it's over.
Yeah, because you fucking
That's
ruined
it.
it.
That's it.
Because you ruined it.
Look at the point. This point does not go to Tony.
No,
There's
it
no way.
doesn't. It goes to me, it goes to you, and it goes to Bobby.
You know-
Tony gets fucked.
You know why you guys can all have one? Because I don't care about the people.
I need this.
Bob's on the board.
I'm on the board.
And Tony
And I
gets
was going to say Jason's on the board.
and Tony gets deducted 2 points
Wait, Bobby, were you going to
for being stupid.
No, I was not. But after you said it,
You guys really think, in all honesty, do you guys
You
think
are
you would
no
have Jason
points.
Smith?
Yes, of course we would have gotten it
Get the fuck out of here.
if you gave us
I don't
fucking
know.
clues.
I was about to start Googling.
Can't Google.
Never do that. Never do that.
Wait,
I got
with
3
the new
computers here. Don't
count.
tell me what I can't do.
With the new count, right now, Tony only has 2 wins.
So, yeah.
Dan has 1, 2, 3 wins, and I have 4 wins. Thank you. So I'm now in the lead. Dan's in second place. Tony has dropped to third, and Bobby, you're in the running with 1.
You're going, Bobby.
1 point. I tie for third. Let's go.
Unbelievable! I can't wait to hear your news. You have news?
I don't know. after that display. No, I apologize, guys. I really thought that. You guys
Thought what? You apparently
Yes.
thought nothing. There was no thought put into that
Wait, hold
whatsoever.
on. I'm going to ask the judges what they thought of Tony's clue. Hold on.
It's another successful sample.
Patience. I don't know how long it's going to be, but be patient.
Is there a mime in the room? What's going on here?
Are we playing charades?
Uncle Puckers at their best.
Do you not hear that?
No.
We do not hear that.
Oh, that's a
What
bummer.
was it? What was
As
it?
you earn no points, may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Technical difficulties. I thought I was going to play for you guys.
Were
Sorry.
you trying to play it through your earphone on the microphone?
First I was, and then I unplugged my headphones, and I figured that'd be enough to come through the mic.
Apparently not.
We heard nothing. And then you didn't have your headphones in, so you couldn't hear us wondering
No.
what the hell was happening.
I kind of heard a little bit of rambling.
It's like the
We
best
tried.
wrap-up show ever.
Yeah, we shit the bed just like the Devils.
We are unprepared just like the Devils. See that? It's perfect.
Well, we had a plan, but we didn't execute, just like the Devils.
That's right.
Oh, man. Showed up but didn't feel like working. Just like the Devils.
Exhausting game. Oh my god. Okay, you guys want to hear some news? Want to pull some couple stories here?
Yes, I do. I want to hear you.
I cannot wait for this.
Now-
This is so exciting.
Do you have like a introduction or something you said?
No,
Okay,
I didn't
no.
make anything. Yet.
Yeah, let me play that again. Hold on.
Everyone silence. Everyone silence.
Hold on, let me play it right
Oh,
through
so
here.
we have to be silent. Everybody's
yes.
silent. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so here's
Your butt.
It was going to work, but it didn't.
No, it would never work.
Apparently. I mean, if you think about it, why not?
Even the
speaker?
intro, actually, if you ask Chris the intro, I think we had the wrong intro.
Did we?
What?
Yeah, not the intro with Kenny, the actual skit. The beginning thing was actually the opposite one I think we were going to use.
Oh, good. We'll play that next time.
Yeah, we got
Go ahead.
Okay,
No,
so
no more.
he's like, we're done. Okay. So one of the stories I saw was Candace Scott, an Arkansas woman, was arrested for selling body parts on Facebook Messenger to a PA man who paid $4,000 for them. And here's a little.
Bobby, you got that kind of scratch?
Speak a little slower. Speak a little slower.
U.S.
Tony.
Marshals, they arrest an Arkansas woman accused of selling human body parts on Facebook Messenger. According to court documents, a Pennsylvania man was arrested for having buckets of human remains. Now, he allegedly brought illegally from an Arkansas woman on Facebook. And during the investigation, police were able to determine that the Pennsylvania man, Jeremy Pauley, purchased the remains from Arkansan Candace Scott. Now, those Facebook messages showed that Scott sold Pauley several human remains for $4,000. The body parts were shipped and sent to Pauley through the U.S. Postal Service. Authorities discovered that Candace Scott was selling the remains.
Hey, so pretty much the story.
So-
but yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? What are we doing here? Is
Bob,
there a devil at the end of this story? Like, what exactly?
it's a devil fan. It's you. You're the
Okay.
Pennsylvania man. You're the
Tony-
one who's.
Are we doing news now? It's cool.
Tony's doing news, and he can come up with whatever stories he wants.
Five
And
random
Tony
Yeah.
picked.
Did
Tony
I
picked-
think it was going to be hockey related? Yeah, I kind of did. This is fun too. Body parts are great. Hockey players have body parts.
Did she dig these body parts up? Like, what did she kill people for them?
Yeah, where did they come from?
I don't know. She said she bought them from somebody else, some kind of market. So I was underground market.
Just going around through mail.
Is it
Tony,
his
take a-
Stop and Shop now has body parts?
UPS is delivering, heads. I mean, it's But so that was one thing I
What's
saw
in
on
the
there.
box? All right, what's your next story?
In Jersey, over in
There
over
we go.
in
We got a Jersey hook.
Okay, there we
Hopewell
go.
County Police released a photo of a meteorite that crashed through a family's roof.
Did a meteorite hit a house in Mercer County, New Jersey?
Let's check it out. Hopewell Township
No.
Police released this picture
no.
of the oblong-shaped
Did it
object
kill anybody?
by 4 inches. It crashed through the roof this afternoon and caused quite a bit of damage. The homeowner's daughter explained what happened.
Turn it
Came
off.
through here,
Turn it off.
hit the floor here because that's completely damaged.
Guess not.
Is this Donnie Darko?
In Addis Ababa? That's your thing?
So,
Yeah, I'm not big on
Superman,
that. And
1978.
let's talk about the hockey game.
So
I don't think the news thing's working.
I mean, I love the news. It's great.
well,
I don't want it.
Hey man, you
I
gotta do
gotta
some
feel-
news.
I feel bad about it now.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I fucking sat and tried to do it.
Was it an actual meteorite? That's I got to know.
Yeah. They say it was.
Okay. Like
They say it was.
Yeah, I
That's-
got
that's pretty
nothing
cool.
on that.
Imagine getting killed by that though. You're at home chilling, and through
I
the
saw
TV,
Donnie Darko.
through the roof.
I would
I
love
was
that.
gonna say a 4-inch big meteorite went through their house.
6
Yeah.
inch.
I bet the homeowner's insurance doesn't cover that. Just
Sure
saying. I mean, they don't fucking do, you get a little inch of rain, you don't have flood insurance, you're screwed.
I think my
I don't
house is
have
covered.
meteor- for
My
meteorite?
house is covered. Yeah.
You
I
sure
bought
you
that
don't
extra
want that
rider.
meteorite insurance, Mr. Martin?
Yeah. You know what? Give me the meteorite insurance. You never know.
You never
I heard
know.
I heard a news story once.
That woman
Not a
from
little worried.
Jersey. The meteorite.
Also, what if body parts arrive in my mailbox? am I covered? When the police swarm my house because there's a human head in my mailbox. Any
They're
damage?
just stuffing body parts into the fucking mailbox and just trying to fucking close the door and there's a fucking arm hanging out. Make sure you put the flag up.
Dahmer's house.
Those porch pirates are going to be really surprised.
Oh shit! Yeah, you ever see that guy that always does around Christmas time. He makes a drone and he puts it in a box. He puts like a cell phone, puts like a little bomb inside the box for torch pirates. And when they open it up, and he gets like phones in there, and so they open it up, and the shit just explodes places. He one time had a drone fly out of the fucking box in these people's house, and it started like an alarm started going off, and so they throw the phone away so they can go back and actually see the video of them opening it and stuff, and it's hysterical. Just these people freaking out. They open up this box, and the guy's awesome.
Yep.
Anyway,
that's pretty cool.
So the game tonight was rough, and I know that we need to get back to that. So let's talk about hockey. I do think that this year was a huge success for this team, and I am very excited to see where it's going. I'm still so frustrated with how this fucking thing ended. Like, the fact that they gave those 3 freaking games away like that. Like, what does that come down to? Like, just a lack of experience, lack of leadership, bad coaching, just tired? Like, I don't know. I mean, was it just the pressure of it all kind of caught up to them, you guys think?
Mostly what you said, I agree with. Maybe not tired. I mean, these guys have been, young, well-trained athletes all year. They should be not tired. But you're going to look like you're tired when you just, don't know what you're doing and as a team and playing, like, consistently. So they got caught running around a lot. So I see where you're coming from with that. I don't think they really got physically tired or even mentally tired. I think hopefully they come back hungrier because, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of fans feel like we are happy that this team overachieved pretty much everyone's expectations this year. But as we saw them develop this year, it was like, wow, this team can win the Stanley Cup. And it became evident that it was very possible. And I'll be honest with you, even tonight, as we watch this game, I'm thinking it's not impossible for this team to come back. And if they do, they will have at that point thrown away all that bullshit and they're ready to go. Now, we kind of said this in the Rangers series, and yet they came out and gave away games again. But I think that it's a growth experience. I am very proud of this team. I think, there's such a bright future ahead, and I trust, management to not let a good thing slip away, to build, We're just talking about who you're going to get rid of and who you're going to keep. And I trust Fitzgerald to do the right thing because he's done such a great job with this team. So, I'm very excited about the future of this team. It's kind of bittersweet because if you put them in the Stanley Cup Finals, I think they win. If they get past this series, I think they come out of the Eastern Conference. I really do. Didn't happen this year, and a lot of good reasons why you got to say Carolina was the better team. They were more consistent. They did their job better. But as far as like potential, I don't think there's a team in this league that has the potential the Devils do right now. They just, it's amazing. So I hope they start developing that potential further and turn that into a playoff weapon that, really, once they get that tuned, they can really run this league for years.
Bobby.
Yeah, listen, it was a very great year. They certainly have learned a lot. I think the only disappointing thing is that you saw in this series that they could be in the Eastern Conference Finals. They really could. I don't know how much further they'd go past there, like the way Florida's playing. They seem like a team of destiny. But, just a lot of little mistakes that maybe this is what they just needed to go through to learn how to deal with. Missing glorious chances, not playing up, the whole team admitting they quit the last game. Like, maybe in another year. We didn't even
talk about that. We didn't even fucking talk about that.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. I mean, to a man, they pretty much admitted that. And that has to go into the psyche of not being in that mode before. But that's why you bring in the Pilots and other people. And it's just it's disappointing in the way that it ended. Not tonight's game. This is the game I thought they were going to play last game when I said I want to see like a tight kind of like a real hockey game, a real playoff game. And then if that had gone 50-50 and into overtime, who knows? Maybe it's a different scenario. It's just a little too late. I think you said that earlier, Chris. Like, it's just they're learning their lessons a little too late. So yeah, maybe next year you come back hungrier. I just have a hard time with that because you're in it now, and I hate that kind of retrospect aspect of we lost in 5, and now I got to stew on it this summer. Now I get it. Now I'm going to work really hard. To me, it's like you have the situation's in front of you. It's right there. What are you waiting for? Go. You've proven you can do it when you want to. Came back from the Rangers. You won a Game 7. You did all those good things. So there's definitely something missing. But otherwise, yeah, for a young team that's ahead of the curve, successful year.
You know what I think, real quick, is the thing that was missing was leadership. And I was watching the post game. I'm sure you guys were too after Game 4. And Nico Hischier just was not. Everything he said was not what you want to hear from your captain. He just had his head down. Yeah, I don't really know what happened tonight. Yeah, we just kind of stopped skating. This and that. Like just completely admitting, like you said, Bob, to a man, like, we quit, I quit, and he just looked like somebody that had given up, and that is not the look you want from your captain. And I think he failed miserably in these playoffs. I really do. He was a huge disappointment for the way that this team responded to some of these losses. His production out there was very, was gone. He didn't produce. He didn't do shit. I mean, he played great defensively, but Dan said on the last podcast, the effort's always there, but, now we need the production, and we didn't get it. And that's something that kind of worries me a little bit, because Jack just seems like he's going to get better and better, and I hope that Nico does too. I hope that he, can be an offensive weapon for this team in the playoffs. But that was just my thought.
Who's your captain, though, if you're going forward, since you brought it up?
On this team, I don't know, man.
I know it's a tough thing. I don't feel that from anybody. And if he would have had a great playoffs, maybe somebody like Dougie Hamilton. But no, definitely not Dougie Hamilton. He didn't have that fire either. I don't know.
In the post game, do you know? Take a guess who had like the best interview for what just happened on the ice. The guy that said all the right things, made you feel a little hopeful, but was still fucking, based in reality, and everything he said was Damon Severson.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually impressed. But I just, who is it? Tone, who is it?
Who's the captain?
I think Jack, maybe. I
don't see Jack as that
captain. He's still young. It's tough.
Then you stay with Nico. I don't think you can take it from him yet. I don't think.
No, but if you did, who on this team? I'm just saying, though, who on this team?
Nico,
could take the captainship from Nico Hischier.
Let's say Nico says, "I don't want to be captain next year."
Yeah, I don't like it. The C on it, it doesn't go with the whole ensemble.
That's when I lean forward, huffing and like.
Yes, it's heavy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Who would you give the C to?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to think about that. That's actually a really good question. I don't know who I would give it to yet. I don't know who's, like Chris said, there wasn't much leadership going on in these playoffs. So I don't know who you hand it to. I guess
where's our like young guy that's going to be like the future leader of this team? You know what I mean? Like, where's the dude that you can see it? And I just don't know if there's anybody on this team right now. So get him on to say hi.
She's getting pissed right now, a little. Sorry, she just woke up. It's 6:18 in the morning here in Eastern Europe.
Goodness!
Wow,
wow, it's getting late.
But like you guys were saying, I don't know who can take the spot if it wasn't Jack. I don't.
You think that Nico Hischier's a good captain, Tom?
I like Nico. I think he had a rough playoffs, but I do like him. I think if right now, if you ask me who should be if it's not Jack, because I do think that. Obviously, he's the best player we have. I think the best player is usually the captain, in my opinion, should be.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I think that Nico is not a bad captain. Who else is it going to be if it's not him?
Yeah. 5 years maybe Jack, but right now he's got enough to do without being captain too. He's young, and he's I don't know if I want Jack as captain right now. Maybe 5 years from now. Nico, I don't know I don't think it's for him, and I don't have a good replacement. I wish I did.
The best player on the team is not always the captain. Like, that's just, the captain has a lot of intangibles that doesn't necessarily make them the best skilled player on the team. But you
don't think Jack's one of the leaders on that team?
I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I think that if Jack, has, wins a cup, maybe, you see Jack with that, like, veteran experience and stuff, then maybe. Right now, I think he's just too green on everything. He's still trying to become the best hockey player he can. All that stuff, being the superstar on this team and everything like that, I think is a bit much for a guy that's
I
only
agree he
21
doesn't
years
need it
old.
now, but I think he is the kind of guy that it's made up. That's the kind of guy you want. Some of the stuff he's shown, especially even that little silly scrap, right? I mean, that's the stuff you want to see from a guy fire up your
He
team.
definitely showed heart in this playoffs. Absolutely, he had a great playoff.
Yeah,
I mean,
I compare this team to older Devils teams. There was a time where I feel like we could have had like 3 or 4 captains on a
I
team.
agree.
And that's okay because this is still a young team, and we don't have a lot of veterans. So I understand that, and they usually are veterans, but that does concern me, because you want a guy who's got to embody grit and spirit and never give up, and that's who you need for like a captain more than anybody. I don't think we got that from Nico Hischier this playoff run, which I thought was a question mark going in. We talked about this a couple times.
Oh yeah,
and that was unfortunate because I think it could have been him. There's many times throughout the season where he did put this team on his back and really do a great job, being a leader and producing and everything. But there were times when he didn't, and that's what we got in the playoffs is from Nico. So I would love to see somebody take that role in this team going forward. I mean, I don't like the idea of Nico being captain during the playoff run next year. I'd like to see that be something that changed.
Now, Bob, I know you jumped away for a second, so I'll quickly fill you in. The question is, if you take the C off Nico, and not just saying, Nico says, I don't want to be captain anymore, who on this team do you make captain?
Yeah, that is a big problem, because, even when they named him captain, I kind of was like, really? Nothing against him. I understand the concept, 200-foot player, really good, but I'm spoiled, right? I think of the captain. There's one guy I think of. It's Scott Stevens.
Sure,
right?
best captain.
So I was like, well, how
Captain
does
Crunch.
that translate? Even when when they flirted with giving even Elias, as much as I loved him to see, I'm like, that's not really the captain guy.
I agree.
So so I start with that, and then I understand like your superstar player, whatever, but I'm trying to think of like who can manifest themselves to become kind of that stand-up leader, and I don't see it. I'm trying to, even on defense, I'm trying to really think there. Like, I don't know.
I don't see Graves wearing it.
You don't.
I don't see Hamilton wearing it.
I'd love to say 10 years from now, maybe not 10, maybe 8 years from now, something like that, because like a Mercer when he becomes a man, like maybe see that. But he's so raw too, 2 years. I think he should just stays with it for a while, and maybe
There's
somebody
one.
else.
There's
don't know.
one dude that I would maybe consider, and that's Marino.
Yeah,
I thought of that too, but he's also soft-spoken.
I guess.
So
Yeah,
gentlemanly.
it depends.
You're
So
right,
was Scott
it's kind of
Stevens.
rough.
What heart did he have, right? And in that last couple minutes, he comes out with that bloodied nose and he plays his heart out. He was great on that penalty kill. That they didn't kill, but I mean, he came out after getting his face broken by a puck and didn't want to miss a minute of overtime. That's for sure. So he has a ton of heart. That is important to have a heart like that. I know what you're saying, Bob. Right? He is soft spoken, right? I don't know.
Not only
That's
that,
a tough
what we talked about in this game and in this series, when things were getting a little rough and they didn't really stick up for each other, a little bit sometimes here and there. Like, who would be the one guy that would get into every scrum, break it up, bust it up, hit the guy back, say you don't want this? Like, who do we have that could be that, and also be like a real like? You can't just be a big body, right? And he can't just be your superstar. There's so much more to it.
Like Miles Wood maybe could have, some of those. He does have some of those attributes. Miles Wood, if he could get it together, could be a good captain.
If you got to maturity,
I heard McLeod come out, and I got to tell you, like,
McLeod
seriously,
could put a solid season.
maybe it's
And-
McLeod.
and
Maybe
we
in the
realize
future.
we can give
He's
him a
young
better
now.
role. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean he has to come off the fourth line, because there's nothing wrong with being a fourth line
No.
player. But just, I think that Mikey McLeod, I think we mentioned this before, he probably could have had a better trajectory if they went about it differently. I don't know. I just think there's a lot more there. But he's proven this type of game. Like, he could play
Definitely.
this type of game. So, yeah, maybe you give him a little more responsibility.
Yeah.
Move him up a little bit. That could be definitely.
He's one of the few Devils that shined in the playoffs.
And I've been
really
pumping that dude's tires since the beginning. I love Michael McLeod. How you feel about Graves is how I feel about McLeod.
Wow.
Bobby.
So you
And
just want the tip?
that's pretty strong. No, yeah, I'll take the whole shaft.
Okay.
I like McLeod, man. I think that if he's got a lot of those things that you look for. He's definitely fiery.
Tip, shaft, everything.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more offense in there too. He's got a lot more to give, I think.
He can skate. He's got good hands. And going to be one of the best face-off guys for a really long time. I mean, he's 23, 24 years old, 25. He's a young kid. Michael McLeod.
The question becomes, do they keep him though long term? I
think you have to lock him up.
But it's not going to be a great contract. It's going to be a team contract, and he's got to be willing to do that. And then, kind of just dig in.
I mean, there are going to be some teams that are going to be, offering Michael McLeod a contract. He's unrestricted.
Yeah. The way I feel about him, of all the restricted, unrestricted that we said we want back and don't want back, I want him back probably more than anybody else. Maybe even Meyer. I don't know. It's crazy to say.
He is a restricted free agent, so the Devils can match any offer.
Woo.
So most likely he's going to end up signing with us. So that would be nice. I mean, Tom Fitzgerald's going to want to, he raised his stock big time. So Tom Fitzgerald's going to make that a priority. Him and Timo Meyer, I think, are going to become the priorities of the offseason. And Jesper Bratt is going to become a casualty of his own piss-poor playoff play. That was a lot of alliteration.
Yes.
Piss-poor playoff play. Piss-poor playoff play.
Pretty good.
Say it 5 times. Do it.
I can't do that. That's too hard.
Tony, piss-poor power play.
Piss-poor power. No, can't do it anymore. Can't even do it once.
Bobby.
Piss-poor
fucker. Power play.
Piss-poor power play.
Piss-poor power play.
Not Pittsburgh power play. Pittsburgh's piss-poor power play.
Pirates.
Crazy.
That's pretty good.
All right. So I think we've now officially hit the wall. So, I think we got a couple of laughs in for a pretty somber show.
Yeah.
I tried to. It sucks. I feel like I'm going to a funeral.
Well,
we made the playoffs, guys. We didn't even think we were going to make that. I didn't really believe we were going to.
Yeah, but you know what? It's such a kick in the nuts because it's exactly what Dan said. There were so many parts this season that you were like, this team can win the Stanley Cup. There was just so much great play, and to just see it go out like that,
But we didn't see that team in the playoffs, really. Even in the Rangers.
No, we didn't. That's the other thing, right? This team never really got going. And if they had found their footing one way or another, they could have been a very dangerous team. So, it's just disappointing because there was so much more to give. And the way that Tom Fitzgerald's been tinkering around for the last couple of years, I just expect this team to be even better next year.
Yeah, I think he's going to make it a more serious playoff team over the offseason. I really
That's the
think he will.
expectation, right?
Better
regular season, I don't know. That's pretty tough to do, third in the league, but better.
And
I think we're going to be more of an attractive franchise to come to now. If you're a free agent,
Look at Florida. Do you really need to be? Do you need to win the President's Trophy? Absolutely not. You want to make the playoffs. And look where Florida is right now. And there's no reason we don't. I don't even care where we end up as long as we're making the playoffs. It's nice to make it easily like we did, definitely, and it'd be cool if we do that again. But let's have a playoff team because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I know we always harken back to the Vikings when it comes to comparing other sports things, but last year there was a brand new head coach, brand new general manager. They didn't make a whole lot of changes, and the fan base was up in arms. Why are they not doing this? Why are they not doing that? Well, they ended up winning 13 games, basically saying we're going to take our team, we're going to see what we have, and see what changes we have to make. And they ended up having a good season, but as soon as this season was over, they jettisoned old guys, big contracts, dudes that have been there for way too long, and they moved on to younger, faster, looking to the future. Now Tom Fitzgerald has seen this team in the playoffs. He can now actually look as a case study and say, I know what wins in the playoffs, and I know what I got to get for this team. So if the people are available, or we have people in our system who can fill those roles, this team's definitely going to be a lot better next year. I'm still worried about goaltending. I'm not sold on Vanacek or Schmid as far as we're talking playoff team. I'm not sold on either of them. I know Schmid played very well, but when you get pulled as many times as he did, I just don't have the trust in him right now. And I know the team played like shit in front of him, and I know he's young and can get rattled, and that's part of it. But I not 100% sold, but I am definitely more sold on Schmid than I am Vanacek.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see who's going to be available this offseason. I have no idea what goaltender is going to be available. I always like the idea of having a goaltender that grows up through the system, so I really am hoping that Schmid just grows and grows as a player. Remember, this is practically his rookie year.
Yeah.
So if this is the playoffs he turns out in his rookie year, it reminds me of, Marty Brodeur. I mean, he might have been a little bit further along, but the point is you don't necessarily have to go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals to say, oh, that's it, he's no good. He's young, so let's keep him in the system and everything. Maybe he grows and is our guy. But let's look at the market too. I don't know who's out there. I mean, like you mentioned, you love Hellebuck. I love him too. He's fantastic. I guess he's coming on market. I don't know. He's a Vezina
I think he has
finalist.
one more year on his contract, but
Okay.
But I see exactly what you're saying about Schmid. He did show enough that you are definitely comfortable with him in net next year. I just hope in the playoffs that experience does turn around and he can be the guy that he was tonight, doing 2 shutouts against the Rangers. That's the guy we need. Tone, you would know the answer to this. Who's a higher rated prospect, Dawes or Schmidt?
Well, Dawes was last year, I believe. So I think Schmid now.
Well, yeah, I know we saw Dawes a ton last year, but they didn't even bring him up this year. But is Dawes more highly touted than Schmidt? Because those are the 1-2 of the future. Who's the more touted one?
It was always Dawes as far as I was concerned until obviously this year Schmid made a little bit of a change, because even this year Dawes in the minor leagues, I think Dawes got the majority of the starts with Utica, I believe. But
I think it was by design when Schmid was called up. I think it was a little bit about keeping Dawes with a regular role for that reason, and then nobody saw Schmid doing what he wound up doing. So.
All right, well, I'm going to just do, since it's getting a little late, I just want 2 more questions for you guys. We'll run through them, take as long as you want. 2 biggest disappointments in this playoffs.
All right.
I know we talked about a lot, but who are your 2 biggest?
I'll go Jesper and Bratt. No, Jesper Bratt's definitely one of them. And honestly, I got to say, it breaks my heart, Vanacek. I wanted him to be the man. He's not the man. We learned that, he's not going to be our playoff guy. I don't know what our long-term prospects are with him. And I don't, think he's garbage by any means. And maybe he comes back someday and has a great playoff run. But we don't seek him out to play on the playoffs ever again. I think we only use him if we have to. And I hope we don't have to. Yeah, it's just, it's tough.
Yeah. I'm in 100% agreement with Dan. Definitely Jesper Bratt. And then at first I hesitated a little bit because, but the effort was there. Vanacek just really disappointed. Like I said, steal one game. You played however many. Not even steal, just
play well.
One more huge save. You know what I mean? I'm not asking too much.
Not get pulled.
Yeah, not get pulled.
Finish the game. That's it. Just finish the game.
Yeah. Tough one.
Yeah. I'm actually going to have to agree with them because, with Vanacek, did you guys every game that Vanacek played even a couple weeks before the season ended, I didn't feel very secure in the playoffs. I think it just continued.
A little bit.
And Jesper Bratt, I mean, that's just the obvious. And we all like Jesper Bratt before the playoffs. We all definitely, appreciate him as a player.
There's no way honorable mentions.
Yeah, there's no way not to be. How many times were we like, who's going to score the game winner tonight? And we were all like, Jesper Bratt. Okay, and then next game, who's going to score? It was not happening, and so
right.
It's pretty obvious.
You guys are very smart because the correct answer is Vitek Vanacek and Jesper Bratt. You guys are
nice. What do we win?
Yeah. My undying
disappointment.
Yes, disappointment.
We had that.
We've all won some disappointment for ourselves.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, I think it's worlds apart. Jesper Bratt is way more disappointment in Vitek Vanacek because you can couch some of your disappointment in Vanacek in somewhat of bad luck. The team never played well in front of him. They never played the way they did in front of Schmidt. But again, that's part of it. So, you just got to take that and say, hey, that's part of who you are. The team doesn't want to play well in front of you. We said this same stuff with Blackwood sometimes too. So it is what it is. But I think, I know he made a better effort. At least, I never saw him sag and the way I did Jesper Bratt. And that was oh my God, this guy, not only is he not playing well, he has no heart. I don't want to say that about Vanacek. It's just not working out. And it's because I had such high hopes. That's why he made the list.
That's a good point. And final question. Lindy Ruff.
Yeah,
What do you guys
it's a tough
think?
one.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Burnett take over next year. And I'm not. Hey, Ruff, I think the team collapsed in the playoffs, and I think that he ended the season was well. He had a great season, but would you guys be shocked if Burnett took over next year? I would not. And Lindy might step down himself. He might, be like, I don't
he might want to retire. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it should be Burnett. I'd like to see what Andrew Burnett can do with this team.
So I'm clear. What's the question? They're going to release him or extend him?
Well, no, he doesn't have a contract after this year. So do the Devils offer him one, or do they move on?
How about him as an assistant? What about flipping roles? How often does it even happen? But I don't know. I mean, it would be kind of interesting to see if you just flip their roles. Because I wonder if Lindy's experience can really come in handy in a lot of ways, and maybe it's helped the team more than we realize. But without some of the line boggle moves that were driving everybody crazy.
I still believe that the whole plan after this year was to move Lindy Ruff to a administrative role, something in the front office.
I thought you were going to say a
Burnett,
farm, move him to a farm somewhere.
Yeah. He's going to go. He's going away for a while. He's going to a farm where a bunch of other old goalies are, other old hockey coaches are, and they run around all day and frolic in the pastures. No. We weren't. I was thinking maybe the front office, and then Andrew Burnett would take over. I thought it seemed weird to have Andrew Burnett come in. He just kind of seemed like a normal succession plan. So I don't know, but I would really like to see what Andrew Burnett can do, and if that would even be, Tom Fitzgerald's choice to take over. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think that they bought, like you were saying. I think that maybe Ruff was bought in to groom this team to be, we didn't think we were going to be. I don't think Fitzgerald and they said, okay, we're going to go to playoffs this year. We're going to have this amazing season.
No.
So maybe the plan all along was for him to get Burnett ready for next season. It just happened to be a very successful season for the Devils,
Or if the season went in the tank, maybe that's a good time to cut Lindy loose in the middle of the season and let Burnett take over there. But it didn't, and they went far. So, yeah, I agree with you.
No, I think this was just opportunity. You saw a great head coach lose a job. They saw an opportunity to bring him into the organization without expectation one way or the other. Eventually taking over, certainly. But given this plan, any other coach in the history of hockey that had done this has just given himself a 2-year extension at least. And that's what I see happening. There's the guy had the biggest turnaround in NHL history from last to, whatever, in points, at least since the 82 season. Fairly successful. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, but I don't know if that buys him a 2-year in the world of hockey. Extension. I don't know. Gerard Gallant won 100 games, 100 points, 2 years. Took the Rangers to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they cup bait with him. I'm just saying, there's not much loyalty. So I don't know.
But what did he do to not suggest that he can't duplicate and even do better? Nothing.
Well, that's the general manager's position. Does he feel like there is, has he reached his ceiling? Is it a guy coming in off the street or a guy like Andrew Burnett that can take this team to the next level? Is it Lindy Ruff? I don't know. That's Tom Fitzgerald's job to figure that out.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of people want to give him to Jack Adams. You got to put it in perspective.
He had a great season, and he took this team a lot further than anybody thought. What's that?
Yep. I'll be on record saying he stays.
Yeah, I wouldn't be heartbroken, but I do really like Andrew Burnett. I like his coaching style, and I would like to see, I kind of feel like maybe this team does need a change in leadership and somewhere. I don't know. Maybe this team's not ready to, take the reins themselves like the old Devils were, where, they really didn't need a whole lot of coaching after a while, after 99, 2000, these guys were just rolling at that point. This team isn't nowhere near there, but they need a coach to get them there. I think Lindy Ruff was brought here to kind of groom these young guys and, get them ready for these kind of opportunities. I don't know. He's never won a Stanley Cup, and he only goes so far. I'm just saying. Guys. What's that? Yeah, no.
They all just turned 21, 22, so
I get it.
Still be grooming.
Young guys, sometimes need a change of atmosphere to, they get bored, they get stale, they end up, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying that maybe a coaching change might be a good thing for this team. I don't hate Lindy Ruff, but I think, this team is going to be really good no matter what. Maybe just a different philosophy on certain things. I don't know. Wasn't always a huge fan.
you guys hear about I keep on hearing Pandolfo get mentioned by the Rangers as a coach.
It's only a matter of time, right?
Yeah, I've heard it a few times already.
Would Jay Pandolfo go to the Rangers? That would be horrible.
Yeah, it would suck.
Well, we will see. So, anybody have anything else that they want to add on this really depressing night?
Nope. I need to go to sleep.
Put in perspective. It was a good season. I hope Devils fans hold their head high and go, okay, yeah, could have gone so much further, but we're ready for next year already. Can't wait for next year to start.
And I want all our listeners to know we are not going anywhere. We will be doing shows all off season. We have a bunch of cool stuff planned. We're going to be talking about this team and every single thing that happens in the NHL from here on out. We still got.
I want to hear from Jafano. How about Jafano?
We still got to fuck that guy. We still have to, get a Stanley Cup winner. So we got to still follow that. So don't go anywhere. Just because the Devils are out of it, we're going to keep on going. And there's, light at the end of the tunnel somewhere. This team, they're going to win a cup. And maybe it'll be next year. So anyway, check us out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit us up, unclepuckers@gmail.com. For the Uncle Puckers, Bobby, Tony, Dan, Chris, we will see you when we see you.
Puckers out.
It's over, Johnny.